You know what is the definition of a hangover? What happened on July?
I don't fall in that category.
You don't?
Yeah.
But see, this is beyond the normal definition of a hangover. Because what happened on July 4th, I mean, you have to accept that, yes, the crowd, I mean, I would say 1 million in a 1 million population crammed up in a 1 kilometer radius. It is truly a very, very historic thing. What we have seen is in 2007 and in 2011, it was restricted to only TV. Now you've seen social media have multiple millions of TVs all around. Every reel, every photo. One guy actually went over
climbs up the tree
and scared the Indian people. Now what do you call that? Dedication, commitment, foolishness, threat? What do you say? That is the range of emotions that we are getting at this point about how monumental the July 4th celebration is.
I think the fans usually forget that cricketers are also humans. So if they spot someone at a very uneven place, they would also feel scared.
Yeah. So, okay, this is the main thing of our dugout thing today. The main topic that we're discussing is post July 4th. Is it now time to once again say that Indian cricket has roared back into the sensibilities of the Indian cricket public, of the Indian public, sporting public, considering 11 years of pain, considering you are the bridesmaid, considering you are always, has this T20 World Cup brought about a ray of optimism back into Indian cricket? And is it the end of the cynicism? Is it the end of the toxic fan base behavior? Is it the end of a lot of doubts that we have got when it regards to Indian cricket? Or do you think that there will be doubts still? Did Indian cricket ever go away from our conscious? And we'll talk about all the memorable moments that is there about the July 4th parade. I mean, what all were the most memorable moments in that? So let's just begin with the July 4th parade. What was your, Sid, the most memorable moment for you in that? There could be one, there could be two, there could be three. But what was your most memorable moment?
I think it was obviously Rohit Sharma speaking those words when he was at the Wankhede Stadium at the felicitation. That speaks a lot about the humbleness that the Indian cricket team captain has. I think from Virat Kohli to Rohit Sharma to that matter even Hardik Pandya and even Jasprit Bumrah, who is actually now unofficially termed as the national treasure of India.
Yes.
I think what it really shows to me is that they are really humble. They really know that this victory has come after a long time. Yes, there was an 11-year wait. They had to wait for a long time to end that drought. But then one thing that I was always, I think, in favor of the Indian cricket team, and I always supported them in that matter, was the consistent performances in the ICC tournaments were coming. That was not the case in the late 90s or even in the 80s, 90s or the early 2000s also. You won the NatWest final, 2003 World Cup final, 2007 obviously was one of those rare occasions where India faltered or India failed to go past the group stage in the 50-over World Cup I'm talking about. So one of the things that I always liked about this Indian team was that consistency was there in the performances, that yes, they were able to match those performances by reaching the finals or the semi-finals consistently. But what stood out for me was obviously, I think, apart from Rohit Sharma's speech, I think it was the way Virat Kohli conducted himself. This is the same Virat Kohli that we saw 13 years back at the Wankhede when India won the 50-over World Cup after a gap of 28 years. He was very concise with his words. He knew what he wanted to say. And this time also, I think it was obviously not the coming of age of Virat Kohli, but pretty much a senior player who was speaking, and he never really spoke anything about himself. It was more about the team, that how India did well. Specifically mentioned Jasprit Bumrah. It wasn't just a special mention, but it was a good weightage that he gave to the Indian pace spearhead. So I think those were the couple of things that stood out for me. I think on the other hand, really hats off to the BCCI for conducting this kind of felicitation and making sure that the players are rewarded and respected in a way that they should be. But if you look at it from the overall perspective, the fan reaction was good. Obviously, if you talk about the fan hanging over a tree just to make sure that he gets a glimpse of the Indian cricket team players, I think it's good. It's crazy also. But at the very same time, you really need to understand that, these players are also humans.
Yeah.
You don't really need to scare them, because they are also, see, when you are in a bheed, as we say, when you are within a lot of people, I think that's where I think the scare comes the most, because that's basically a time where anything bad can also happen. I'm just quoting some, it's not just about quoting an example. Yeah, these things can also happen.
Yeah.
So that's where I think we really need to respect their privacy, really need to provide them the space so that they do not feel scared. But yeah, I think this one thing is definitely for sure, that after a long time, the passion was there. The fans did, they went out on the streets, they cheered for their team. There was a lot of halla and all that in a good way, obviously.
Yeah.
So, but overall, what stood out for me was the way these players conducted themselves when they were felicitated at the Wankhede. And I think this is something that the youngsters can really learn a lot from.
See, for me, this is the second favorite. What Rohit said. I mean, Rohit doesn't feature for me. The second favorite was Virat's quotes. But for me, the number one moment has to be Hardik Pandya.
Oh.
Here is a man who 6 months ago, he's always stated, he said it even in Barbados, he said it even with the meeting with the Prime Minister, he stated it even now and then. Hardik Pandya has been through hell and back.
Yes.
Those comments, because he wanted to be ambitious, because he wanted to show that he did have some kind of leadership skill, made him a fan villain. For what reason, I don't know. Why was Hardik Pandya made the ultimate villain? I don't understand. I will never understand. And this is one black blot that you've got in the Indian cricket fan base ecosystem. Okay. The things that went against Hardik Pandya, the fake PR machinery that was run. Now, I'm happy for one more thing. With Hardik Pandya's performance, those people who accused us of being PR agents and agenda peddlers have now gone back into their hole and are never coming back. That is one thing. Second, the reaction of the fan, which you have got on Sports Today, the reaction of the fan when she apologized to Hardik Pandya. She was one of the fans who were vitriolic against Hardik when he took over the Mumbai Indians captaincy. And she went on to say, sorry, boss.
It takes a lot of guts to do that on camera.
Takes a lot of guts.
Yes.
These were the same fans. I would say a fair majority of these fans were all calling him caste slurs, were all calling him bad names, were booing him when he stepped out on the field in the Mumbai Indians jersey. They conveniently hid behind the fact that, oh, okay, India ke liye dekh lenge, let's hold our thing. And he won it. All those guys have had to eat humble pie. So for me, I want to thank Hardik Pandya for two reasons. Number one, showed that the behavior of the Indian fan base at that period had reached the toxic level which you all feared it would.
But hasn't that been the case for over the years now?
It's gotten magnified, it's gotten amplified for two reasons. One, this 11-year situation that you saw, when India didn't win any ICC event, there was Virat Kohli, there was Rohit Sharma. Two of this generation, this era's ultimate greats. No doubting that at all. They developed a mentality wherein if Virat failed, the Rohitians would take full pleasure. None of them ever had their own photos. They hid behind that guy's photo and they used to spew nonsense. If Rohit prospered and Virat failed, the Rohitians would drag them down. Vice versa also. Every fan base never used, they used to put these two guys' photo and peddle their agenda and nonsense. Here, it had reached next level. Why did this happen? If Hardik Pandya had taken over a Punjab Kings or a Delhi Capitals or a KKR, there would not be Rishabh Pantians, there would not be Shreyas Iyer-ians, there wouldn't be a Sam Curranians. It was only a Rohit Sharma because of Mumbai Indians, a legacy team,
yes,
and because of Virat Kohli, RCB, because he's there. Take Virat Kohli out of the equation, RCB is nothing. Now, Hardik had dared. Like, boss, I have the leadership credentials, let me do it. But the fan bases then decided to go on an agenda base. And combined with all of this, it had spewed a very mistrustful, toxic environment in Indian cricket. And when June 29th happened, and I had said,
I would rather correct you here, not within the Indian cricket environment, but within the fan environment. That's it.
Even within Indian cricket environment.
I don't think so.
It had come out in the open during the IPL. See, there was only very token this thing for Rohit in the IPL that please don't do it. But then he never told them to stop it. Virat at least acknowledged that, yes, what are you doing? There are so many people who are saying that this will be the guy who will help you win the World Cup. And they were proven right. Hardik Pandya's redemption is a slap on the toxicity that was prevalent for 11 years. With these fan bases, whatever were their frustrations, whatever they were listening to Khada Hu Aaj Bhi Wahi on loop, I don't know. But what was sure about the fact is that redemption, and you will recollect, Sid, in one of the shows that I had done.
Yeah.
You know when I will be happy, a genuine smile in my
when
face.
Hardik Pandya will bowl the final over and
or
he'll
with the
lead
bat
India
if he
to
hits the
victory.
winning runs, if he does that. When Hardik wins it for you, I will be genuinely happy. And you know that Hardik has really fought through the odds to get to where he is. Every Indian cricket player at this point in time has fought the odds to get to where he is. And June 29th, with a lot of luck, let me tell you, on some other day, Miller's hit would have gone over the fence.
You know, I remember I told you the other day that South Africa was just a 6 away.
Yes. And whatever were the conspiracy theorists wanted to peddle from all across the globe, boss, that catch was clean. So that is why moment number one for me, the entire parade, Hardik coming out with the swag, showing that trophy, and then he was just reveling in it. The fans saying sorry, and in the Wankhede, when he was there, Hardik, instead of the boos, got chants of Hardik, Hardik. And then the most funniest moment, he's doing Vande Mataram, suddenly a shirt comes. And then Bumrah's laugh is absolutely priceless in that. So for me, those moments of Hardik Pandya made this the most memorable celebration that I could get. What was your second favorite then, Sid?
I think obviously apart from the Virat and Rohit quotes, obviously this is one thing that stood out for me. Apart from that, I think the Wankhede becoming a sea of blue.
Oh yes.
And not just, shortly before the start of the event, that was obviously delayed by a couple of hours.
Would you want to include Marine Drive to Wankhede?
Yeah, I'm talking about not just Marine Drive to Wankhede, but I'm talking about Wankhede as a stadium in itself. Lakhs of people, I think, in that maybe. Close to maybe
1,000. I mean, the capacity is about 50-60,000.
Yeah,
lakhs were outside.
Okay, let's say around 70-80,000 people.
Yeah.
And what we got to hear from the broadcaster was that these people have been at the stadium since 3 p.m.
3 p.m. Yep.
So look at the passion. I think once again it just goes on to show that this is a really cricket crazy country, and people really just die to have a glimpse of their favorite players, because the next day they are going to tell this to their peers that okay, I had a glimpse of Hardik Pandya, okay, I had a glimpse of a certain Rohit Sharma on these people, or so on and so forth. That's what I think is the beauty that this game provides, because this from 1983, that has pretty much been the case. I think it's going to be pretty much in your family also and in my family also, that yes, the first cricketing story that you hear was obviously Amarnath da Puttar, or Kapil Dev, or you're going to hear about these cricketers only. So I think from there on only, cricket is the sport that gives you a lot of joy. Obviously there are other sports also wherein India has begun to prosper and they are doing really, really well, be it badminton, javelin, hockey for that matter. Hockey has had a resurgence after the bronze medal win in the previous Olympics. So that's where I think the crowd there, or the lots of people at the Marine Drive and then at the stadium, I think that really stood out for me, because that
I will add in that one more moment also.
Yeah.
April 2, 2011, and now this. No, I'll tell you what was at one moment. Everybody in unison, when they are won or are winning, are chanting Vande Mataram.
Yes.
The entire thing. It is truly a goosebump. Imagine millions at that time singing in unison, Maa Tujhe Salam, Vande Mataram. If you don't get goosebumps evoking thing, then you're not human. Your body is not made out of blood. तुम्हारा बदन जो है उसमें खून नहीं, पानी है. That is the situation that is there in that. But yeah, carry on.
Yeah, so this is something that I think stood out for me, the fan thing or the fan perspective. They're just coming out there. Obviously, some I would rather say that most would have left their work or probably any of their important commitments and been there. That shows a lot of commitment. That shows a lot of love. But I think this is where even I also feel that as much as cricketers respect the love that they get from the fans, and that's what I think the Indian team does. I think they are pretty detached from it nowadays because they know that one day it's all hoo high and great, and the next day it's going to be boo.
For me, the second best, I would say, another redemption story for me, Surya Yadav.
Oh,
Surya,
not just with the bat.
Everything. I'll tell you why. In 2023, on November 19th, he just couldn't get going. Australia had their plan and he tried 360 like this many times, but it did not pay off. Surya Yadav may not have had a good time with the bat in the T20 World Cup. By his lofty standards, he didn't. But there was also distraction in the IPL. See, he had 100. But then there was a distraction of the captaincy and the team in Mumbai Indians being divided. Here in the T20 World Cup, he plays certain good knocks, but he reserves his best for the last.
And he played a crucial knock in the semi-final.
Yes. He played a crucial knock of 46 along with Rohit Sharma.
Yeah.
The catch. The way how Surya Yadav even elaborated in our exclusive interview that we had done even with Sports Today, he felt that the cup was going over the boundary. All that desperation came in and then he said, I have to take the catch. All the things that I did in training at that point, let mind, body, heart and all parts sink and ensure that he got the match.
Yes.
He got the catch, which, let me repeat for the 100th time, was legitimate. It was clean.
There should not be any controversy around it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It was absolutely clean about it. So, after that, you saw who was the most pumped up in the entire celebration bit. Surya Yadav. Look at the celebration, look at the dance.
He threw the ball also, no?
Yeah, look at the dance that he did after the game. When he arrived in Delhi, ITC Maurya, the first thing that he did, he danced along with Rohit.
Yes,
did just
and even Hardik also.
Yeah, but Surya's dance and the energy that he had, he got the VIP seat in the bus. He got the front seat and he was doing all this. He got a panoramic view of what happened. Each and every time Surya Yadav did something, it went viral. So, this was a redemption story also for the ages. Two Mumbaikars, Surya Yadav and Hardik Pandya, yes, Gujarat, but now living in Mumbai.
Yes.
Two Mumbaikars, two contrasting fortunes. And if you look at it, right from the depths of hell, all the way right to the top, it takes time. But you get there in the
Always.
end.
And I read a stat on Twitter, I'm not sure how correct it is, so that you can let me know if that is, that Surya Yadav, Rohit Sharma and Hardik Pandya combined are yet to lose a T20 final.
What were you saying? Rohit Sharma?
Surya Yadav and Hardik Pandya are yet to lose a T20 final.
Of course.
T20. Five, I think Mumbai Indians wins.
All five. They've never lost in the Rohit era. In the final, never. They never lost. I think these two weren't there when the Champions League happened.
Yeah. First but Surya Yadav was first with KKR, then he joined Mumbai Indians.
I think he joined in 2014, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, but I think, they are yet to lose a T20 final together.
You're right.
Yes.
But how many have they played? Apart from the Mumbai Indians thing. See, they didn't play in the CL. They have not played in ICC T20
17, 19 and 20 they have played. IPL.
Yeah.
For sure. 17, 19, 20 and now this final.
Yes.
So I think there could be one more. There could be one more.
See, Rohit has lost only 3 white ball finals, if you have to look at it, in his senior career. Only 3. From 7 till 24. I'm not talking about under 19 or anything. 7 to 24, he's lost only 3 finals, ICC. 2017,
yes,
he lost in the final.
2023.
Yes. And for the fans, a trivia question, I think Sid would know, which is the one. 2014, the T20 World Cup.
Oh, I forgot. Yes.
That was when
Shikhar Dhawan did not play that match. Okay. Yes.
Rohit Sharma, if you look at it, he's lost these 3 finals. And you look at it, I'm not talking about WTC, please. WTC is red ball. But each and every time a final they have lost, it's broken them a lot more. there was an empire built, okay, in 2013. India were the kings.
Yeah.
You had won the 2007 T20 World Cup. In 6 years, you had completed the white ball set. Okay, you are dominating even in under 19. You won in 2012 also.
Yes.
So you had completed the set. You are the white ball.
And even in 2014, you reached the final.
Without losing a game.
Yeah, that was still an achievement.
When you lost, you had dominated for 16 overs. The last 4 overs, Sri Lanka turned on that inspiration switch. That was the first crack.
Yes.
The crack in the empire that was there. Then 16 widened the crack. 17, one part fell down. 19, the foundation was crumbling. 23, I think it crumbled.
Yes.
It crumbled because November 19, with the kind of form that you were going in with, your top 2 batters, Virat and Rohit, top wicket taker, Mohammad Shami. You had won most games, yet you couldn't win the title.
Yes.
Now that meant the empire had crumbled, it had collapsed. Here, everything was built back slowly but surely. Yes, there were doubts. I myself admit that I was not a fan of Rohit and Virat suddenly being parachuted after 5 months.
And even I had doubts about the final. You know, I was the only one within Sports Today who said that South Africa are actually favourites to win the title because, you know, sometimes in case of South Africa, the point was that you haven't won an ICC trophy for 26 years. So you're already in a space where no one is expecting from you. So it's basically a fight between 2 opponents where South Africa is XYZ and they are telling ABC, okay, come. What's the worst that will happen? You'll beat us, na, come. You'll defeat us. When a team reaches that stage, na, they become pretty much unbeatable.
Yeah.
That's the mentality with which I thought that South Africa would go into the final, and at one stage, I think they had almost done it. Almost, it felt like, you know, they would do it.
See, there is, I will just sum up my final moment. It's an unpopular one for many, and many people are even trolling them on social media for it. The sight of Jai Shah and Rajiv Shukla standing in the front of the bus, and they're saying, oh, why are these 2 people there? They don't deserve to be there and everything, and all these kind of hogwashes. They have been pilloried on social media. They are doing like, okay, very unsavory things have been said about them. I know that the fans will not want administrators to come in and steal the limelight. But the question I want to ask all of the fans, did they really steal the limelight? Did they?
I don't think so. They were a part of the cohort.
Because I'll tell you one thing about Jai Shah. You can even tell something. You can even see on Sports Today the real truth. We are not becoming PR agents of the BCCI by trying to butter up to them and then say, oh, this is, we are just wanting some favors from them. No. I will show you my phone also. The next day there would have been no payment done also. Okay. So that, the thing about PR guys and paid journalists and all being fine. And by the way, what's the harm in being a paid journalist? You don't work for free. Nobody works for free in this country unless you are an intern. Number 1. Number 2. Yeah, that's true.
Pawan is having a big laugh there.
No, but Pawan doesn't fall in that category anymore. He doesn't fall.
Pawan used to be an intern.
Yeah. So now Jai Shah had at least given some kind of thing that okay, the Indian team is stranded.
Yeah. Who
helped
them? Who helped them get back here?
Come back to India?
Who helped the media persons come back here?
Yeah.
Our correspondent was stuck. And even the other correspondents of different media organizations, they were also stuck there. Who helped them come back?
Yes. And to make these kind of things, oh, but he might have put other people's this thing under scrutiny. No. That flight had also developed a snag. And whatever time you needed a small gap of 18 hours to ensure that you got the flight in and then leave because another hurricane was coming.
Yes. Or else they would have been stuck for another 3-4 days.
I can understand that people will want to just, whatever is authority, people will want to criticize it.
Yeah.
But in this case, the BCCI, the likes of Jai Shah and everybody deserve a lot of praise. They organized something, they managed to do something which was not possible. So, if Jai Shah and Rajiv Shukla, they managed to come to the front and then say, okay, we'll just hold the trophy. You all guys take center stage. What is the harm? What is the harm for once in our life? Forget authority, forget everything. just enjoy the moment. I mean, if I am a clerk, if I am a janitor of a company, and if there is a party going on, and if most of them have told me, like, why don't you also enjoy? Then should I forsake my authority to enjoy because I belong to a different working class altogether? No, no. This is the thing.
For that matter, I think I would like to take an example, may not be in 100% context, but pretty much falls there. Australia's chairman of selectors, George Billett, travels with the team. He was a part of the team that won the 2023 World Cup, and he also held the trophy.
Exactly. So that's why, see, but in Australia, the authority thing is different.
Yeah, absolutely.
In India, there is
But we haven't seen the selector travel with the team on a consistent basis. That does not really happen.
You know, the problem is there are two things.
Yeah.
Either we are totally pro authority, or we are totally anti authority. There is no in between.
Yeah.
There is no acceptance in that sense. So that's why I think it's a fine example of the fact that, okay, the main question from all this is, has cricket been singed back into the Indian cricket fan, in the Indian sports fan? Because I think it never went away.
Yeah, same for that matter. Absolutely.
The popularity only increased and it erased 11 years of pain. Because how could cricket go away when Virat Kohli was playing, when Rohit Sharma was playing? Two generational greats playing the game of cricket and ensuring that, okay, we push the barriers of excellence each and every time.
I think the fan interest would have only lessened if India's performances weren't that consistent in the ICC tournaments and even in some of the important bilateral series. So I'll give you an example. Obviously, we won back-to-back series in Australia.
Yeah.
Then obviously, in the 2021 T20 World Cup was the only exception in the last 10-12 years where India did not do well. They faltered in the group stage itself. Then 2022 was a semi-final before the England hammering. Then 23 was an inspirational performance before Australia happened.
November 19th.
Yeah, before November 19th happened. So overall, I think things have been pretty much on track as far as Indian cricket's perspective is concerned. There has been a lot of fan interest. People are talking about it. Even, I can tell you within my family also that people who did not take interest in cricket earlier, they began talking to me about Indian cricket, especially from the win in Gaba.
Yes.
That turned out to be a landmark moment for Indian cricket, which is, I'm sure that it's a lot talked about, and it's something that we're going to tell a lot of people in the next few years to come also. So that is something that has happened. Even the casual fan has started to take interest. What is basically the definition of a casual fan? Who just maybe watches cricket on and off, or maybe who watches cricket on an event to event basis or a tournament to tournament basis. But even I think the people have started to take interest. They know how things are going. More importantly, I think there is more interest in cricket and even in other sports also, primarily because there is a lot of data involved. There is a lot of information involved. There is a lot of analysis involved. So the game is spreading, the horizon is broadening, and more importantly, the fan interest is there. And it's not just restricted to men's cricket, it's also coming to women's cricket. Best example, 2 successful seasons of Women's Premier League.
Of course. So that's why this win, I will sum it up before I take the questions. The best part about this entire thing was when Virat was holding the trophy, he asked Rohit to come and join. Simple thing, what fans wasted 11 years in realizing. Rohit needed Virat, Virat needed Rohit. 18 needed 45 as much as 45 needed 18.
Absolutely.
And this time, like 2007, like 2011, like 2013, an individual didn't do well, the team did well. It lived up to Gautam Gambhir's mantra. You perform as a team. Virat's 76 will be remembered, yes, but you'll also remember Sky's catch.
Absolutely.
You will remember Bumrah's cheat code bowling. You'll remember Hardik Pandya's thing.
You'll remember Rishabh Pant's contributions across the tournament. You'll remember Surya Yadav's useful contribution in the semi-final. Then there was Arshdeep, who ended as India's leading wicket taker in the tournament.
You will remember Akshar Patel also For some
MVP.
Yes.
As simple as that.
For that one over versus Pakistan that he bowled, and for the other knocks that he played lower down the order.
And for that matter, even one player who did not really do well throughout the tournament but contributed with an important 17 for 9 in the semi-final,
Ravindra Jadeja. Yes, yes. Everybody contributed, and that is why India. Let me tell that word again. India are the T20 World Cup. Team India are the T20 World Cup champions after 17 years. 17 years ago, there was no social media. 17 years ago, only TV had just exploded. There was a generation of fans who had grown up from 1983, the win. Now this generation has grown up seeing India win a T20 World Cup. In the broad era, when you look at this particular period, when T20s dominate, India have done it. So let's take some comments that are there at this time. International 3191 from the US is saying, T20 World Cup win much more competitive than ODI World Cup WTC. See, I know where he's coming from. Sunil Gavaskar, in that interview that he did with us during the victory parade, he had said, it's very hard to recover from a T20.
Yeah.
You can recover from an ODI, but I disagree with the World Test Championship because there is no greater format than Test cricket.
No doubt.
It tests you, and T20 tests you for 3 hours. There it tests you for 5 days. It's like a slow, low burner. You will get caught up. You may dominate for 4 days, 4.5 days, but half day you don't dominate.
And that's why 2 WTC finals in successive events is not a joke.
It's not a joke. I would say T20 World Cup might be second because you're one now. But WTC, if you win that, it's the ultimate feat. That's why Australia and New Zealand winning it are simply magnificent in that sense. Ashish Dar is saying, Jasprit Bumrah, greatest Indian fast bowler or Kapil till now?
It's difficult for me to comment on this specifically because I haven't watched Kapil Dev, bowl consistently, during the time he used to play for India. But obviously, with all the spells that I've watched of him on the social media, looked a lethal bowler, specifically wanted to bowl with the new ball, was always ready to do that. In case of Jasprit Bumrah, we all have been tracking his journey since 2015, I think, for that matter. Yeah. I think he's really turning out to be India's national treasure. Definitely.
That's a very interesting thing, Ashish, because see, I've seen Kapil Dev's bowling. It was great. Discipline, pace, everything, longevity. No one beats Kapil Dev in that sense. Fitness, man, what fitness that guy had. But I know they didn't have titles to boast of. But I think we are not doing good service to remember Javagal Srinath. Javagal Srinath was the workhorse around whom India's fast bowling stocks were really there.
Absolutely.
But if you look at before JB,
despite a dodgy shoulder, he did well for India.
That dodgy shoulder came later. Plus he had to change action multiple times. Then he came back, became a great bowler. But before JB, there was one clutch bowler whom we are forgetting at this point in time. Zahir Khan. Bigger the occasion, bigger the bowler. And if you want swing with the Kookaburra, SG, Dukes, conventional reverse, there was no greater master than
one of the few cricketers for whom county cricket helped.
Yes.
Helped a lot for that matter.
So Zahir Khan for me is right up there. Yes, he may have won only one title. He didn't play 2013 Champions Trophy. He didn't play the 2017.
2011.
So as far as bowlers is concerned, Ashish Nehra didn't have that much of an impact. But then yes, he was. But JB, if you look at it, he's a cheat code. He's a national treasure. The kind of action that he has, it's truly remarkable in that sense.
Yeah.
And Mayank Madan. Mayank Madan. Except abuse on HP and his personal life, he was rightly criticized. He made stupid statements in post-match also in IPL. Of course, he deserves all the praise because he performed in World Cup. Happy for him. See, again, the stupid statements that you're saying in post-match and all is very subjective. You have to understand one thing, Mayank Madan, because of the fan base that he is from and because it's India, you say anything, you don't say anything, you will be banned.
Yeah.
And it's exposed. Whatever way you look at it, the fans in this entire episode have been made to look very foolish, and I'm glad Hardik Pandya made them look foolish. For once, the fan deserves criticism. He and she can't be hiding behind freedom of expression and then use the vile abuse that was there.
Yes.
That is the reason.
So Dex has a comment that no news of Quinton de Kock retiring yet from international cricket. Won't get surprised if you see him open in the Champions Trophy next year. I'll take this. And in the T20 World Cup in 2026. So the same South African team could play for 2-3 years. So Dex, Quinton de Kock has already retired from Test and One Day cricket. 2023 World Cup was his last ODI assignment. That's what he stated categorically. And in case of T20Is cricket, South Africa is a little hopeful that he's going to be available in the T20 format at least for the next couple of years. So there is obviously no clarity, but as far as Quinton de Kock's Test and ODI future is concerned, I think it's pretty much done.
Yep.
Unless he wants to do a Shahid Afridi.
I don't think South Africa, although they wear the same color jersey, I don't think they do that. Sarat Chandra is saying, Sid VNG, Dhoni or Rohit? In T20s, mainly as a captain, Rohit hasn't lost a final as captain in T20s and won World Cup too. Dhoni is talking about, and defeated Dhoni in the IPL 3 times. Who is better and a comparable one to same generation? Oh,
No
Dhoni or Rohit?
For me, there is no comparison, obviously.
That's a tough one.
I think there are, you don't just have to look at the way who is better or who is, second best here. I think the point is that you really need to look at the way from where these captains took over the mantle of the team. So let's just, dissect it very quickly. In case of MS Dhoni, he took over the team when obviously they had to undergo a transition that was very, very much important. So unless the senior players were phased out, India, who knows, might have not won the 2011 World Cup. So that is where I think what MS Dhoni and the selectors made a call in 2008, I think it turned out to be a masterstroke.
I would add to that.
Yeah.
For me, if you want a clear-cut this thing, who's better, I would still say MS Dhoni for one simple reason.
Yeah.
Look at the
man management.
Look at the backdrop of 2007.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Look at the backdrop of 2007. Rohit could not have come in if it was not for an MS Dhoni.
Absolutely.
7, you were in the bottom. You had lost everything. You were at the bottom of your pride by losing in the 2007 ODI World Cup. Suddenly, someone from Jharkhand. Now, when did Jharkhand produce a great cricketer? It was always Mumbai, Delhi and all those things, but no. A young boy from Jharkhand dared to dream. And at the age of 26, he led the Indian team to victory, picking them up from the depths of hell and giving birth to the IPL. Without the T20 World Cup win, the IPL was never going to happen in 2007.
Yeah.
And because of that, he was the first one to lay the original benchmark of dominance. Chennai Super Kings, 2 back-to-back titles. Then
10-11.
Rohit taking over in 2013 for the Mumbai Indians. Yes, he surpassed Dhoni. But as far as pace is concerned, captaincy is concerned, you can't look beyond an MS.
But then I think if in case of Rohit Sharma also, he took over the team obviously when they've had a poor campaign in the 2021 T20 World Cup, which was obviously set to be held in India but was held in UAE due to COVID conditions. I think it is more of the fact that with Rohit there was a journey that had a lot of pain attached to it.
Yeah.
But finally I think it all ended. The best thing here was that India did consistently well in whatever the chances that they got. Just they floundered at the big occasion.
And let me just tell you one more thing. I hope we have that maturity to realize winning an ICC event is never easy.
Absolutely.
No team is just willing to lay down and say, oh, please, you come and walk and get the trophy. No. Which is why you celebrate every win, but also acknowledge every other country's win also. Which is why Australia, with their level of dominance, they deserve to be acknowledged as the greatest ever to play this sport.
And one more thing about a team that is not really talked about, once the World Cup has ended, it's Afghanistan.
Yes.
Watch out for them in the next ICC events because the Champions Trophy is going to be held in
26
Pakistan.
Sri Lanka,
the
India.
2026 T20 World Cup is going to be held in India and Sri Lanka. Favorable conditions for them, and mind you, they are doing well in the pace department also. They are going to be the team to watch out for. This semi-final was not just a
fluke.
Yeah, it wasn't a fluke.
Yeah,
it could just become a consistent thing.
Any other further questions, or should we call it a day?
I think, we can.
What time will be the pre-match show tomorrow? Mayank Madan, it will be at 4 o'clock, 3:55,
I think
4 o'clock.
3:45 or 4
Yes.
o'clock because the match is at 4:30. Yeah.
Yeah, so that is why. Shobhan Sai is a very interesting thing. The captains who won India World Cup are not captains for any IPL franchisee. So maybe in 2026 also India will go with a captain who's not an IPL captain. Yes. When Rohit's won it, he's not been the IPL captain. When Dhoni won it, he was not the IPL captain in 2007. And there was no IPL then.
Yeah, but 2011 it was MS Dhoni only.
No, but wait. The captains who won India World Cup. But didn't Dhoni in 2011 win it and 2013 Champions Trophy? Wasn't he the captain of Chennai Super Kings?
He was the captain of CSK.
So your thing might be valid for T20s, but I think it's not valid for ODI.
Yeah, because Suresh Raina captained CSK in patches.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, that's about it. We sign off with, finally it's done. It's over. Today the meeting with Prime Minister, what all was spoken is out. You can check that video that we put out on Sports Today, plus other things which is there. The women's match is there. India, South Africa. Sid will be giving an update on that. So thank you so much folks for joining us for this Dugout.
But before we end, I want to ask a question. And Pawan, this was your question that I'm going to ask Vishy now. When is the YouTube channel starting? Vishy Vines.
Vishy Vines. Well, now that India
hashtag Janta wants to know.
No, Janta wants to know. Janta also knows that I'm writing a book. And a lot of chapters have been added into it, which I have to really collate and ensure that I do it. That's why thanks to Hardik Pandya for giving me the inspiration.
Sidvi's little black book for stunning success.
Not a little black book. It'll be a decent book. So, Vines I think will come somewhere around BGT.
Okay.
Vishy Vines. I think that should come around BGT time. So let's see. And that's about it. So India versus Zimbabwe starting from tomorrow. Young India, world champions. Check out the interview that what Sikandar Raza has said about this Indian team. And why they are so formidable. You can check it out on Sports Today.
There's going to be one of the more videos that I've done here, that what are the challenges that the Indian team might face. For the Zimbabwe T20, it's going to get published in the next few minutes, maybe in half an hour from now. You can watch that out.
Absolutely.
And who knows, you might be blessed with a debate.
With the debate also.
Who knows?
So bye-bye from me and Sid. Subscribe to Sports Today for all, and good night, Nandri, Vanakkam, Shabba Khair. Eat your vegetables, and your Shashwat's not there.
Now eat your vegetables and don't have junk food.
Don't have junk food.
Yeah,
yes. Bye-bye. Chole Bhature, by the way. Chalo, bye-bye.